A few weeks ago, I was coming up to a junction and stopped on my Suzuki 1050. Just as I was about to move off, a lady decided to park her car very close to the back of my bike. So close, in fact, that it broke my number plate and scratched my exhaust. Now, I was very lucky with that young lady because she was honest and she stopped and she's agreed to replace my end can on my Suzuki. And the repairs to the number plate only cost a couple of pence. But I got to thinking that what if she had just driven off? What would I have done? I'd have been in that legal position of trying to get and claim money back off her, but I probably would have failed. So, bit the bullet, bought myself a dash cam. Happens to be my birthday today, so it's a bit of a birthday present. I'm going to have a go at fitting it. I'm going to try and video it as well. Hopefully it all turns out okay, but you'll see the good bits and the bad bits. So, let's get on with it. Already done an unboxing, so you can probably take a look at that if you wish to do so. But let's get all the bits out and think where I'm going to stick them on my Suzuki. Right, so that's all the bits out. Now to get that into that. First things first, let's get this seat off and see if I can mount that main brains of the unit under the seat. So under this space, I think it's going to go there perfectly. There's nothing metal above it, and it's not going to be obstructed by anything. Got access to my Thunderbox, great bit of kit, the Thunderbox, and I can connect to the battery quite easily under this seat part here. So I think it's going to go, yeah, I know it's going to go just there. Access to power, and it's protected. It says it's waterproof, but hey, it's still under it's going to get some splashing around the bottom here, but I think it's going to be okay just there. Let's get it on. So that's the Vantrue brains of this thing. This part here, where it says Vantrue, according to the instructions, needs to be facing upwards so that it can get the GPS signal, or I do apologise, the Wi-Fi signal to your phone. But I can't see why it can't just go there quite neatly. I've got a little bit of Velcro on that side that was used for something else. If I put some Velcro stickers on the back, that could go in there quite nicely. Fits quite nice and neat. What about the cables? Yeah, that's good. Put this side, how about this, turn it that way. Oh, that would work. I could even turn it that way. That would work, and then I could feed all the cables down the side. Down here. Go behind? No. Change around the Thunderbox. Nah, I won't do that. But I could run it on that side. Not so sure now. That way. Run the cables there. That's going to obstruct that. Cables that way. Or this is my preferred position there. And the cables to here. Running quite a few cables down this side then. I think I'm going to put it there. Okay, so I've decided it's going to go there. I'm going to put some of these little Velcro soft tabs on this side. They can always be removed and I can reposition it if I want to. But I think this is going to be the best place for it. So I'm going to stick 3 of those on there for now. And then that should just sit on here. Ooh, it's not very stable there. Wants to twist. I think I'm going to have to stick another one up here. Aha! Cool. Right, according to the instructions, this controller and GPS module needs to be fitted first. It's got a unique connector on the end here and a load of cable. I think I'm going to mount it up on the handlebars somewhere, so let's see where that can go. This is the remote control. I think I'm going to go through that remote control information a little bit later on when I've got it working, hopefully. But where am I going to stick this? Now the cable runs out of the side here, but there's a little hole on the side here that's your microphone. It says that must be faced out of the wind. So the out of the wind has got to be facing downwards, which means my cable is going to go to the other side. Also it says you can't stick anything over this hole here, which is a speaker. Not quite sure what the speaker's for, but I'm sure it'll become more apparent later. But this will need to go on here. And then I'm thinking, what do I do with the cable? We're going to run it down the inside to the center point so it's not being flexed. And then I think I've got to run the cable down behind here somehow. And I've already done some cables for my driving lights. And I didn't have to take this off. And I managed to run the cable down from the inside all the way down to the seat. So I think take the seat off, see where I can run the cable, and let's go from there.
But it's just a lot tighter on the new bike. So let's whip these off and I'll take the side cover off as well, to a little bit of better access. Magnetic tray, always the way forward.
nerve-wracking. You know, I think I'm going to have to take this side plastics off this piece because I want to be sure I'm running the cables neatly down the side of the frame spar. Right, this has to come off, and then under the beak has to come off. I think there's just some clips at the front here that do that. I'll leave the camera running. We'll see how we get on, shall we? I hate that. These in my magnetic tray. Prepare for the sound. Oh, no sound. Oh, relief. Right, that's those three off. I've got a tank bag cover off and all. Should we have a look? Yeah, tank bag mount has to come off too. Trust me to make it awkward for myself, hasn't it? Tank bag connector, although it is a Suzuki one, it's actually quite a nice one. Stupidly expensive. But I must say, shout out to my dealers, JT's in Swansea. Chucked it in as part of the deal, and I bought this in December. Oh, I'll lose those nuts, do I? Let's take that and put that somewhere safe. And off he comes. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Ah, that way. Throw your Allen key all over the place. Yeah, should have just pushed those ends in. Now you know about it. Idiot. Lucky they're not broken. I believe now there is some screws to undo here, which is going to release this front part here. Have I got another bolt in, another screw in there? There's another one of those clips. So that will need to be undone. I'll push that in a sec, like this. Do it properly rather than like the Heath Robinson way I did it earlier. And this side is the one I want. Aha! See that now? I can now take that clip out without breaking the damn thing. Right, so just undo these screws up here, I think, and then I can take this this side panel. Okay, so mighty tighty lifty loosey. Where are they? There's one up here. Oh, come on. I've got another one down here. Am I just randomly undoing screws hoping it's all going to come apart? Pretty damn much. Pretty damn much. According to the manual, you just lift it off. Ooh. I hate this. Right. Allen key there. This one's going to click. Oh, I hate that. You can tell it's the first time I've taken this off, can't you? Put the Allen key where you know you're going to find it, Stephen. So good lad.
Does that mean anything to you? He shouted across the room, "Don't forget the cucumber!"
I'm getting there.
Good.
Have to strip half the bike apart.
No. Well, at least it's dry.
Oh, yeah. There. Got a little tiny hole there that's the microphone hole. The slot below it is for a zip tie. And I've got plenty of those. At the bottom they've already pre-stuck on some of the 3M tape. So I'm going to get some isopropanol alcohol, if that's how you say it. Isopropanol. Some really pure alcohol. I'm going to wipe over the top in case there's any polish left on there from the last time I gave it a clean, and I'm going to stick this on, but I'm going to give it extra security. I'm going to put one of those zip tie thingies in there too. Something nol alcohol, 99% pure alcohol. Don't drink it, so it says on the bottle. Let's give that area a bit of a wipey wipe, just in case it's too a bit greasy. Lovely. Shall I feed the cable first? Yeah.
Don't feed the cable first, what's the problem there? I don't feed the cable first.
Yes! That's going to play me up that big there. That sort of bike is that going to go from controller back to about 10 foot, 2 and a bit meters if you're metric. You can't bend this more than 90 degrees or 180 degrees, otherwise it can damage the cable inside. This is the same thing about the videos, so you just need to be a little bit careful what I do. I might double it back a couple of times under here to give it a little bit of extra. I'll just make a couple of gentle loops maybe. Go back under here. That can go underneath here. And then push this back. You knit the correct way up. This top part's got to be facing the sky because it's got a GPS thingamabob in it. It needs to be upwards. Currently temporarily zip tied onto here. I haven't stuck it down with the 3M tape. Cable runs around the side. I'm taking it down in beside. This switch is for my auxiliary lights, nicely hidden out of the way so it can be isolated. The cable then runs down the inside of the tank and it's behind here. And you can see what I've done is I've just looped these cables backwards and forwards. I'm going to tidy them up afterwards and put a couple of zip ties on. You don't need to see me do that. You know how to use a zip tie. Then the cable then runs underneath here, round to the side, and then comes across the back of this spar, which is the seat lock. And there's the cable there. There's the pinned cable, and there's its meter. So I've made a thing. I've done all right so far. I'm going to go and do the video cameras next, but it says make sure you isolate the bike before you start connecting all this gubbins up, because I think the power cables are next and they are about 10 foot long too. So I'm gonna get that ready and then I'm gonna start thinking about connecting the power in. And it's got 3 connectors on the power. It's got your live, your positive permanent live, which will connect to the battery. It's got an ACC or your accessories mode, and I've got a spare little hole in my Thunderbox, which is just a great bit of kit, the Thunderbox, which gives me my ACC, and my ACC also powers my CarPlay thingamy up there, which is brilliant, and then the last one is to the negative side of the battery, which is if I can find where my fingers are there, it's about there-ish. So let's get on with that. I feel like I'm getting somewhere. Power cables. All of these have got unique connectors on, which is great. It means they're going to be fairly idiot-proof and easy. Even it tells you on the back here what the strength or the resolution of the camera is. 1080p and a 4K. 4K is the front and 1080p is the rear, so it shouldn't be too complicated. But next thing, power cable. And there's an absolute mile of this stuff. Don't really want to start cutting these down though, if I can help it. I could do, I suppose. Very keen on that. Inline fuses there on the ACC line. No, sorry, the yellow's the ACC. Right, okay. So do I need to put a fuse in? Because I've got a Thunderbox. The Thunderbox is already protected. Ooh, big questions. I'll have a think. Three cables. Battery. Oh no, the battery is the fuse. The fuse on the battery. I've got the ACC, goes to the switch live, and I've got the ground. Look at the length of this flipping cable. It's only got to go about 6 inches. 15 centimetres in new money. Alright, see how I can get this on. What do I think? So this is a huge cable here, but I think it can go under here, tuck it up out of the way, because there's no catches or clips it's going to catch up with there. I've added some tools in here. I'll move that out of the way for convenience. But I think I can get it up underneath here, or even behind here. But I think I need to loop this and zip tie it. So I've got live neatly out of the way. ACC and ground. Sweet. Now in. So this is the connector for the power cable, and I have looped all of the cables, zip tied together, down behind this rear cowl here. So they're somewhere in here, but hidden out of the way. And then the cables run down the side around the back here, and I've run the main live with the fuse in it, which will go into the live this side. I've got my ACC, my switched live, which will connect into my Thunderbox connections, which are down here, and I've got my ground that's going to go into here. So it's all very easy to connect now when I'm ready. But the next thing will be to put in the cables for the cameras. So I think rather than mount the cameras first, I'm going to mount the or feed the cable through. You may ask, which cable is which? Right, so I've got two cameras. I've got a 1080p and I've got the 4K 1080p. 4K is the front and 1080p is the rear. Now they've got unique connectors. This one's got a silver connector for the rear 1080p, and this one's got a block connector for the front. So the silver round connector here that goes to this cable, and then this cable is the front. And again, I've got an absolute ton of cable, very sensitive to being bent, so it says. So I must be quite cautious with that and how I fit it. Let's get it on. Change of plan. Under this part here is the illumination from a number plate, and I'm not sure Mr. Policeman will be too pleased if I obstruct that. It's not quite enough surface area to put it down here or mount it under there like that. It's not going to fit, so I'm going to have to go back to plan A and stick it up here on the back reflector at the top here. Hopefully it's not going to cause too much of a drama. A little bit of ice. wonder if that would fit on there. Let's give that a go. Well, that seems to be pretty neat. Right, just to connect the cables up, do some heat shrink around the joint and then put that cable away and let's do the front. The connectors are exactly the same on either end of this cable. So as far as I can see, there is no reason to put them in any particular way around, and it doesn't say anything in the manual that they should be connector A to front or back. It doesn't say. So I think I can put them in any way around I want. They look absolutely identical, so I think it doesn't really matter which way around I put them. Let's have a look. Stuck it under here, a couple of zip ties around there to hold it in place, and I think jobs are good in there. That's well hidden out of the way. It's protected underneath this little shield here, and I've got a heat shrink around it. It's not pulled tight, it's not bent through 90 degrees. I've done the cable up behind the back here and it looks fairly neat. Now that rear camera is in place. Cable runs down the side, under the back, into the under tray, out of the under tray, no drilled holes, neat little cable pulled in round the side, goes around the back of the additional power socket and connects in here somewhere. And I've put another waterproofing layer of heat shrink. I should put some over that connector as well. I might do. Yeah, I might do later. Down to the last bits now. Front camera and cable. No, it's the front camera because it's got 4K written on it, and that's going to go on the Beak side, the under tray from the front Beak. So I think I'm going to run all the cable first, then I'll have to put all the fairings back on, then I can mount the camera and run the cable in. That's the order I'm going to try and do that. Let's get on with it. Like all the other connectors, they seem to be unique, and these are, again, end on end is exactly the same. So one end can go into the controller or into the main unit, as I correct myself, and the other end goes to the front camera. Now I'm going to put the front camera underneath this tray here when I put it back on. So I'm going to run the cable inside there, and then I'm going to follow that cable you can see dangling, this one here. I'm going to follow this cable down through the side again, and then down the frame spar and up to this, and I've got again another 10 kilometers of cable that I'm going to have to hide. But let's have a go. I'm going to loop these cables under here, and loop them together, so we tie them together with the old zipperoonie. It's a bit tight if I do it like that. I don't think you need to see me put this all back on, so by the magic of YouTube, there it is. The front camera is now fitted and all the under tray is all back on. I went to put it on the top, thought it might take less vibration. Let's see how it works afterwards. Right, next thing is to finish off by wiring it up and putting an SD card in. So according to the instructions, you need to have a class 10 U3 and above standard high speed micro SD card. I've got 128s, that should be fine, and I've got a new one arriving later on today, but I think the 128 is just going to be fine. I fitted the SD card. The screws are very small, caution about losing those. I think it's been mentioned before by others. Right, to wire this up, starting off with the ACC. This is going to go into my live of my Thunder box, which is this one. Live to the live terminal. Negative to the negative terminal. And that's it all connected. Rear camera ready. Front camera ready.
Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da.